York Minster Revealed has involved very significant restoration work on the building and also some really hard work to change the culture of the Minster so that we look outwards rather than always expecting people simply to come in. The initial stimulus was discovering that we had major problems at the east end of the Minster. It was likely that within a generation that great east window was lost. So it was a moment that had to be seized. So we're immensely grateful that the Heritage Lottery Fund was available at that point. The funding has been a partnership between the Heritage Lottery Fund, which has provided over £10 million of funding, and the York Minster Fund. That endowment is built up by the generosity of many, many donors.
Most visitors experience the awe and wonder of York Minster, but what this funding has enabled us to do is to really think about all of the other aspects that would make for a really superb visit for all the people that would welcome through our doors. Families are one audience that we've been particularly anxious to serve better at York Minster. One of the principal tools that we've used to do that is by piloting and then mainstreaming a project called the Little Explorers Backpacks. They contain lots of fabulous gadgets, puzzles and things to help young people really explore the Minster. They've just been so popular with our visitors here at the Minster. Now, the undercroft has been a special feature that has been really enhanced through the York Minster Revealed programme. Effectively, what we've been able to do is to totally revamp the visitor experience in the undercroft, and that's the space beneath the Minster where we can display all of our historical collections and tell the story of the Christian heritage that's been present on this site for nearly 2,000 years. One of the challenges that the restoration of the Great East Window presented was the fact much of the East Window was actually covered up while the masons were hard at work. So in order to make that process visible, accessible and understandable for our visitors, we commissioned the orb. This was a really unique opportunity to get very, very close to the glass and to witness the wonderful artistry that's contained within the Great East Window.
Well, the Minster's about getting over 700 years old, so it does need a lot of tender, loving care. The York Minster Revealed project came about through the surveys identifying some really substantial structural repairs that were required. The Heritage Lottery Fund have allowed us to carry out a York Minster Revealed project, which was not only the restoration of the east front stone and the glazing, the Great East Window, it was also the new piazza and refreshment of the undercroft museum area. It was something that would have probably taken us 15 years at least to deliver, and we've done that in 5 years.
At the beginning of the project, we thought we might have to take all the stonework down until we did a proper survey of the inside of the stonework of the window as well. While the work was going on, we tried to let the public see what we were doing. We had the lodge built in the compound by the east front, so people walking past, they can see the work and it immediately attracts their attention. And so at the very top of the east front, there's a series of very elaborate carvings which were done by our carvers in the workshop. It gave us an opportunity to train people to the standards required for ecclesiastic architecture. So apprentices actually, apart from just learning how to work a piece of stone, they begin to appreciate the building and what they're working on.
Well, the Great East Window is the largest single expanse of medieval stained glass in Britain, and in many respects the ambition of the whole window matches the size and ambition of the architecture in which it sits. And if this window, were not a piece of glass but it were a great wall painting or a canvas painting in an art gallery, it would be world famous. And one of the objectives of our project was really to try and put this work of art on the map, because it is one of the most extraordinary and ambitious pieces of stained glass ever conceived and executed, and here it is in York Minster. One of the exciting things was that just as we were about to begin making the protective glazing, a genuinely revolutionary new material became available. For the first time, we could use properly UV-resistant glass. So being able to have UV protection in the exterior glazing means that we can extend the life of these adhesives and give the window almost total protection from the environment.
York Minster Revealed allowed us to really deal with the environmental conditions down here in the undercroft. They're very difficult. We average around 90% humidity, which is practically raining inside. So for a lot of our collections, it's very difficult to have them on display. Another important part of the display down here was about actually making sure that we showed that this is a living building. So we have the York Gospels on display, which are a gospel book that dates to around 1000, but was used from the 13th century. Every canon of York has sworn their allegiance to the chapter on that book. One of the great opportunities out of York Minster Revealed was actually being able to look at what we provided for our community, and one of the things to come out of that was the adult learning programme. So we created the session Collections Unlocked, which takes 5 or 6 objects. We don't tell them anything about it to start off with, and then working to a theme, we talk through modern implications. It's been a really important learning opportunity, and that's something that we're looking to expand now and build onto lots more platforms.
The York Minster Revealed project gave us a platform to work with new audiences, and all of these groups that we've been able to work with, we've come on a bit of a journey with them, being able to explore it at their own pace and then actually inform us about their experiences. That's been really key, because then we can change what we do as well to give them a more rounded experience of the Minster.
York Minster Revealed has had a huge positive impact. To see the East End in a new way, in ways that none of our predecessors have, has been an absolute delight. Alongside that, we have turned ourselves more to face the outside world. So that through our project work with schools, with families, with young offenders, with artists, with faith communities across the region, we have discovered and forged new relationships. And it's those new relationships that will help us to continue to develop York Minster for the future.